Hi everyone, I'm Tanaaz from foreverconscious.com and this is your weekly energy forecast for the week of January 16th. So by the time we get to the end of this week, we have a very strong shift in energy. It's a fresh wave of energy coming in that's going to inspire new beginnings, fresh starts, new opportunities. It just feels like a beautiful wave of wipe the slate clean kind of energy. This is sort of how I've been seeing it. It's almost like we've been crawling through a dark tunnel and we're finally at the end of that tunnel and we emerge and we're covered in dirt and cobwebs and we're a bit of a mess. But the view in front of us, the fresh air, the wide open spaces, being out, free in the open. That is the feeling. That is kind of the feeling that we were kind of emerging from this dark tunnel into the light, into a wide open space. And that is the fresh energy that we have on offer this week. There are a couple of things that are creating this force field of fresh energy, but one of the most significant ones is the Aquarius New Moon. That falls on January 21st. But before I get into this new moon, let's talk about what happens before it. So we're wrapping up Capricorn season on January 18th. Mercury stations direct. This is big. Mercury goes retrograde 3 to 4 times a year. And when it does, it's a time of reflection, looking back, reassessing how we're communicating with others, with ourselves, and with the greater world. So that's what Mercury retrograde is kind of in essence. This Mercury retrograde, which started on December 29th, has been kind of more significant than most because Mars was also retrograde at the same time. So Mars stationed direct last week on January 12th, which would have brought some kind of, I don't want to say relief because I don't want you to think of these retrogrades as being, times where you can't have any relief, but you may have felt in a Mars retrograde that you're taking one step forward, 2 steps back. So that's where you might have felt that kind of energy shifting under Mars. And now with Mercury also stationing direct this week on the 18th, there is just more of that being able to move forward, being able to think a little bit clearer, being able to kind of, not be so indecisive, making decisions feels clearer. Mercury rules over our mind. And so this mental clarity, if we've been struggling mentally, if we've kind of been feeling a bit foggy or lost in our thoughts or, questioning what we're doing or how we're feeling or, what we should do with our lives, this is where we'll start to get a little bit more clarity. Our mind will feel clearer. So that happens on January 18th. We start to get out of this kind of reflective mode and into a more doing, actionable place. And then on the 20th, the sun will shift out of Capricorn, which is, an earth sign. It's a very grounded energy. It's helping us to kind of feel connected, feel a little bit more centered in our being. Sometimes that earthy energy, we can take it in as a little bit of heaviness. Now the sun is moving into Aquarius and this energy is air energy. It's, energy rises from those lower chakras into our higher chakras. We're kind of getting that shift, that, flow to the opposite end of the body. And we feel that, and we can feel that also contributing to this idea of new beginnings and fresh starts and fresh energy. So we're shifting out of that earth into air energy, and then right after the sun moves into Aquarius on the 21st, we have the Aquarius New Moon. So it's kind of bang bang, all of this happening one after the other. So that new moon is a couple of things. There are 3 things that are kind of cool about it. One is the first new moon of 2023. It's also the new moon that brings the start of the lunar new year. And it sits at 1 degree of Aquarius, which is a very karmic degree for new beginnings. So first new moon of the year, first, lunar cycle that brings the start of the lunar new year, and then it's sitting at this highly karmic degree, which represents new beginnings, fresh starts, opportunities, the ability to plant seeds. So this is kind of where we're getting that peak of fresh energy rushing in. The general rule with the new moon is that we tend to feel it more so after it peaks. So after the new moon peaks on the 21st, we'll then really start to be able to embrace some of that new beginning energy. This new moon, while it does hold a lot of new beginning energy and ability to manifest and plant seeds and all of that, there is a need to be gentle. We have just kind of emerged from this journey through the underworld, if you will, with all of this retrograde energy that we had with Mars and Mercury. We have, just kind of wrapped up a big cycle of 2022 vibrations and are now entering into this 2023 vibration. And so we kind of need to be gentle with ourselves. We kind of need to pace ourselves still. Both Mars and Mercury, when they emerge from their retrograde journeys, go through a shadow phase where we're still kind of calibrating. We're still kind of adjusting to this, whatever messages and insights they've brought to the surface. So essentially, we kind of have to be gentle. We kind of have to move with a little bit of awareness. And, even though we're going to feel that momentum pushing us forward, which is great, we kind of want to make sure that we're acting from a place of, awareness and higher consciousness, and not just, doing because we're trying to, fix something or make something better or falling into old habits or patterns. We want to move with awareness. So under this new moon, while it's wonderful if you want to set intentions, if you want to do some manifestation work, if you want to do vision boarding, I just encourage you to be gentle with the process and be a little open with the process. There is some, very strong feminine energy around this new moon. And this feminine energy reminds us to be open to the gifts of the universe. We want to, set our intentions, put out what we want, but we don't want to be limited by that. We don't want to be constricted by that. We don't want to hold and attach to this specific idea. We want to be a little more open in what we're calling in. So if you want to, as always, I have a ritual for you, but if you want to do any calling in, think about it from a sense of, how do I want to feel? Because that's more open. How do I want to feel when I wake up in the morning? How do I want to feel when I go to bed at night? How do I want to feel as I move through my day? And then work on attracting those feeling places to you rather than a specific thing. There will be time for specific, more kind of masculine, action-directed manifesting work. On this new moon, I am feeling and I'm saying that I think you'll have a better time of it if you stay a little more open and think about things from a sort of feeling space. How do I want to feel? How do I want to, move through my day on a heart level? Kind of coming at it from that approach. Right after this new moon on the 22nd, Uranus stations direct. And that means that we have 0 major planets in retrograde from this point forward. This is a brief window where, with no major planets in retrograde, we're feeling forward momentum. Things can happen quickly. Things can move along. If you have tasks you want to do, if there are things that you want to cross off your to-do list, all of that energy, all of that momentum will flow with ease. No major planets in retrograde. When we have planets in retrograde, we're encouraged to kind of reflect, look over the past, learn from our past, reassess, reevaluate. With none of that energy in the cosmic skies, it's go, go, go. It's forward, forward, forward. No looking back. It's time to move forward now. And this is where the universe is guiding us. We have to keep pushing forward. We have to get, make some strides on our soul journey, on our soul path. So that energy will build and build. This week, as we're just getting this wave of fresh energy, give yourself time to kind of calibrate, give yourself time to adjust to it. Don't feel like you have to rush into anything. Just take your time with it, calibrate, and then as the weeks go on, you'll find it easier to kind of get into that forward boom, boom, boom momentum. All right, so that's the energy for your week. Beautiful fresh energies flowing in, a lot of new beginning energy. You can also embody this by thinking about, reorganizing your space. Bringing in some new energy into your home environment, into your wardrobe. Maybe you want to get your hair cut. Doing something to kind of embody that new beginning and fresh energy is also a really great way to embrace and make this energy feel more alive for you. So, how can you bring some fresh energy into your life this week? How can you create a new beginning for yourself? Maybe that's something to think about as we journey through this week out of that earthy Capricorn energy into that lighter air sign energy of Aquarius. If you would like to know more, go to foreverconscious.com. There is a new moon forecast up. There is a ritual to go with it. Also, there is your Aquarius season horoscope. So Aquarius season runs from, as I mentioned, January 20th to February 18th. So if you want to check out what is happening in the cosmic skies for your sign, check out your horoscope. It's all up on foreverconscious.com, and I'll drop the links in the description box below. Hope you all have a wonderful week. Enjoy the new moon. Happy Lunar New Year, and I will see you next week.